Now that we have all our pages in the project responsive for mobile devices, it's time to start working on the dark theme. So eventually, after applying the dark theme, we're about to get something similar to this page. And let's get started. I'm gonna open up the template of the main page in the editor. It is called index.html, and right here I'm going to apply a couple of additional classes to the header. But this time I'm going to use those classes with the prefix of dark, and this tells Tailwind that those classes have to be applied only when the dark theme will be active. So in here I'm basically removing the border of this header and making the background color of the header gray with a shade of 900 when the dark theme will be active. And if we'll take a look at the result in a browser, sure enough we're going to see that our header has become dark. And that is because I currently have the dark theme activated in my operating system. Otherwise, those classes with the prefix of dark will not be applied. So basically, Tailwind determines whether it has to apply dark theme based on operating system preferences. But we can also change this strategy and only apply dark theme when the particular class will be present on one of the HTML elements. So I'm going to use manual strategy to decide whether we want dark theme to be applied or not. And to do so, I will add top level key inside this configuration object with the name dark mode and the value of selector. And after this in the browser, we're not going to see an effect of applying those classes with the prefix of dark, because now the light theme is active. And to enable dark mode, all we have to do is to add class with name of dark to one of the HTML elements. Usually this class is applied to the root element. And this way, if we'll be applying classes with the prefix of dark to all descendant elements, all those styles applied by the classes with the prefix of dark will take effect. And of course, now in the browser, we are about to see that our header has become dark again, since we have activated dark theme. Now let's just style the rest of elements within this header properly, so all of them will look good when the dark mode is active. I'm going to make the logo white by applying text white class to the SVG element right here. And I will apply the same class to the name text white with the prefix of dark. And there we go, our logo and the text are white now. Next one, we'll have to make those now items visible. So let's jump back to the editor, find the markup of each now item, and right here I'm going to apply light gray color to those elements, and when hovering over those now items, the color should become indigo with a shade of 200, only when dark mode is active, and that is why we're applying two prefixes at the same time to this class, dark as well as hover. So let's just take those two classes and also apply them to the next now item, since both of those now items are supposed to have the same styles. Alright, the header looks much better now, but we're not done yet, because we also have mobile version of this navigation. Let's get to work on this one. First of all, I'm going to make this button to toggle navigation visible. That button is represented by the link tag in our markup, and I'm going to apply bggray 700 class to this element only when hovering over this element and when dark mode will be active. Next one, I'm going to make the icon within this button white by using text white class. After this, I'm basically going to copy over those two classes we have just applied to the button to open up mobile navigation and move them onto the button to close mobile navigation right here. So basically the way it works is that there can only be one button visible at a time. And now opening button as well as closing button both look good when the dark mode is active. Next one, I'm going to change the background color of mobile navigation. So right here to this now element, let's add a few classes such as border 0 and bggray 900. This way we are removing border and making background color gray with a shade of 900 when the dark mode will be active. And then as for individual nav items, I'm going to make text color gray with a shade of 200. And when hovering over those nav items, the text color should become gray with a shade of 700 when the dark mode is active. So let's just take these two classes and apply them also to the next nav item right here. It's time to check the final result. So this is how mobile navigation looks like when the dark mode is active. And that's how main navigation looks like with dark shades. Link to the source code of this project will be in the video description.